Hey there, welcome to Players Only. That's right, a Players Only edition of Game Time. We had 6 games tonight. A couple of them were blowouts, we'll be honest with you. That's right, it's the two-man game. We can both switch. You could be center, I could be power forward. We can switch it up, but got my man Kevin McHale here. I'm Chris Webber, and let's get out to a game that was exciting, at least for the first few moments. His mama call him Clay, I'ma call him Clay. Golden State, K-Mac. While these highlights go on, just let me tell you what they did tonight. In the first quarter, they set an NBA record. That's right, NBA record with what? 51 points in the first quarter. Oh. Then they set a franchise record, as you see Durant pull up a 3. And that's 10 threes in the first quarter. This is the 10th time this season they've scored 40 or more points in a quarter. Ooh. How about they shot 60% from the field? This is the 4th game of the season in which they've scored 140-plus points. This is the 10th game in which they've won by 20 or more. And Kev, just let me hit you with this. Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. You want to know what they shot from the three-point line?
I do.
18 for 26. How ridiculous is that?
That's hard to do in the gym by yourself with no one guarding you.
I mean, come on, man.
That's ridiculous. All I can tell you is they were ready to play Denver, who had a better record than they did coming into this game. And Denver right now is saying, ooh, that's what it looks like when Golden State's mad and really focused and wants to come after you. So this is a heck of a learning game for Denver, but Golden State was on fire, and they played so well. I mean, you look at it, they had 40, I think they had 40 assists as a team. Yeah. Just, great ball movement, great defense, and all locked in.
How about this? The Warriors come in a half game out of first place. Guess who's in first place now? That's right, your Golden State Warriors. And speaking of that, we caught up with Draymond Green after the game.
Draymond, you
got a chance to talk about Flint players earlier and guys from that area. And again, I believe, I don't even think I mentioned him on this. Flint players are the most per capita. And you said a little something tonight. Draymond got back to playing day-to-day type basketball. Those 13 assists from him tonight. But how about this? 38 assists on 57 shots came out.
Yeah, that's right. They had 38 assists out there. And Draymond had a Draymond night. He shot the ball 5 times. He's plus 41. Now, whether you believe,
man.
Okay, the plus minus, you can say plus 41. And when he's popping the ball and moving it, he did it tonight 4 or 5 times where he got it and drove it down
right
the gut.
Away.
Yeah, no hesitation.
Yeah.
He sucks the defense, got a lob. All of a sudden, the guy doesn't come over, throws it out to the corner. And that's where he's at his best. When he's hesitant offensively and pump faking and not doing stuff, when he's attacking the basket and making defenders come to him. Because here's the thing I'd tell Draymond. When you get it, just attack. If nobody comes, just dunk it.
Yeah.
If somebody comes, you got good enough vision. I'm not worried about you finding the guy.
That's right.
But make a play. Just attack the rim. So it was a typical game for him, and that was about as good as I've seen Golden State play on both sides of the ball all year long.
6 rebounds, 13 assists, 1 for 5 from the field. That's a Draymond-like game. And he said even earlier that he loves to facilitate, but a little here on the defense,
I love that.
Curry leads his defensive man right to Draymond, stays in the pocket, gets the steal, the quick, fast breaking. What do you see here on offense?
They're just going to keep moving the ball. They're going to get up there. They set a nice screen for him, but watch this. It's how fast they're moving now. Watch how he drops the ball. Immediately puts that dribble and puts pressure on the defense. That's where Draymond Green is almost unguardable when he's making really quick decisions. And you're going to see right here now, just a little bit of a pick here, just to give that big, hold up that big. And he comes off, nice screen set right here.
Rotates late. Wow.
Yes, exactly. And look at that. Now he makes a beautiful little bounce pass over here. And again, another dunk. So what you're seeing on the first clip, the defensive clip, is that you're going to get beat in our league. You can't put your hands on him. Steph gets beat, but he doesn't get out of the play. He runs back in the play, gets a steal, and Green picks up his man. They were really helping each other on both sides of the ball. When they're playing like that, that's encouraging for me, because I'll tell you what, I've been down on this team all year long. Really, at Golden State, they just haven't played up to their capabilities yet. But they start playing like they did tonight. It gets me excited because I love seeing a different style of, it's the pass. It's not the dribble.
Yeah.
Clay, what did you say Clay was? You said 13 for 19.
Come on, man.
I bet he took 10 dribbles.
Yeah, I bet he may have taken less than that. Exactly.
And so I love watching that style of play.
Yeah, I love it too. And I think the reason why we get frustrated with the Warriors is because we know that they pay attention to detail. We know that they know what they're doing or not doing. And when they play great, it's just a work of art.
Speculation surrounding Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler has reportedly turned down a 4-year extension with Minnesota worth about $110 million.
Butler asked for a trade during a meeting with team president/head coach Tom Thibodeau.
This don't got too much to do with basketball. It's bigger than that. It made sense on paper. It didn't work. Now it's time to move on. You just got to find a willing participant from another team.
It's a big day for our franchise as we welcome Jimmy Butler and Justin Patton to Philadelphia.
I want to do whatever it is that my team asks for me to do to help us win as many games as possible.
Tremendous trade. Gives Philadelphia a third superstar, which they need.
I believe he's a great player. He works hard. He's somebody that you want on your team.
Bringing in Jimmy Butler, I think they have a chance to make that next jump up there.
Yeah. Butler heaves and hits with 4/10 of a second remaining. Jimmy Butler delivers for his new squad.
I think that I'm an incredible human being, teammate, and I'll show that to the guys that are here.
That's Jimmy Butler, looking fresh and a fresh coat walking in. It's cold out there, I'm sure. I played in Philly. I know how that weather can be. And a couple of guys know how the weather, well.
His knees are cold, I know
Yeah,
that.
I was going to say, he wearing Daisy Duke jeans out there. No, but Cat, he's been going to work. You know what he's done. And welcome to Players Only. I'm Chris Webber. Now, tonight, Zeke went back to his original position. That's the point guard. He's over in Studio J. He'll be hanging out and joining us a little bit later. So instead, we're subbing in former Laker and newly named head coach of the WNBA's Los Angeles Sparks, Derek Fisher. Welcome to the show. And when it comes to the game, this man, you know he has it in all areas. He was Sixth Man of the Year. He's won multiple championships with his beloved Celtics. He also has the eye. He drafted a future Hall of Famer by the name of Kevin Garnett. You may have heard of him, and he's a HOFer himself. I like how that sounds. You thought I was going to say something else. He's the HOFer himself.
I've had people call me that before.
And that's the slippery hill, Kevin McHale. Now, we got 6 games across the NBA tonight on tap, and in the first game of our doubleheader, we got a good one. We have Joel Embiid and his Sixers. They're welcoming his teammate Jimmy Butler's old running mates. That's right. Cat Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Guys, let's get right to it, Kevin McHale. You've been an executive, been a player. So much was made of Jimmy Butler. We know he's a great talent, a great leader, but so much was made of his presence in the locker room, of his play. What do you think about the trade so far, and do you think this is the right move going ahead for the Sixers?
Yeah, it helped both teams. I mean, the Wolves are 17 and 14 since they traded Jimmy, above 500. And Philadelphia's 20 and 11 since the trade. But Jimmy's been hurt for some of that time. I don't like to hear the noise coming out of Jimmy again, just about the offense and stuff like that. At some point, you just got to go someplace and fit in. This is Joel Embiid's team. So I just want to state that off right away. Like, if I was coaching, I'd say, okay, everybody stand right here. Get real close, You see this guy right here? Yeah, this Joel Embiid. Yeah, he's going to be our first option. He's going to be our second option. And then we're going to look for some other stuff. So I think sometimes you just got to fit into that. I don't know. Jimmy seems like he's looking for a home. You can see his three-point shooting has been going down. And, hey, man, when you're shooting 28% from the three-point line, maybe you're just crabby. But he's just got to start chilling this thing down a little bit. Just at some point, you got to go in and fit in with the team. And it's not always about you, man. It's about team first. And, Fish won championships and played on all those teams. And, you have a big role, but yet you don't always have to be the man. They're going to be one of them. Yeah. And like I said, if you can't identify who that is, that's when teams have problems. To me, it's Joel Embiid on Philly.
And Fish, you've been in those locker rooms maybe where you've had to be that referee between great players and encourage guys, hit big shots, all the things that you've done. But hearing a guy like this, what's your feeling about the trade going forward and his personality in the locker room?
Yeah, I think in the short term it has worked for both teams, like Kevin said. I think Minnesota has gotten better since he's been gone, and I think that Philly's been able to win games even though he's been injured. I think the long-term question is in Philly. whether or not this really worked, because he could be gone or he could become a guy that causes problems as he continues to speak out and say things publicly that just doesn't sit well with his teammates. And I think that's the big question. Kevin is right about Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
The Sixers, that's the foundation of any future they plan to have.
Right.
So they have to make sure he's happy. And anybody that comes to join that team, whether trade or signing in free agency, has to understand that. I think Jimmy understands it, but he's just figuring out how to maybe deal with the Philadelphia media and just that national spotlight that comes with the expectations.
Good point. And Kev, when you look at the other side, I mean, we look at Minnesota, and I'm a guy that I love the stats, even some of the minutia that goes on, and people make it up there different ways. But I'm also a guy that loves watching body language and energy. And it is no secret that Cat Towns and Wiggins seem to play harder, seem to enjoy, have more fun with their new coach. Saunders seems to be enjoying it, 2-1 since he's joined the team. What about the reverse effect? We said it helped both teams, and two of my favorite players in this league were Sark and Covington.
Yeah.
And so how do you think they fit into this along with the play of Cat and Wiggins?
I think Covington's really found his home in Minnesota. He fit in really good because, especially with Thibodeau, Tibbs was a defensive guy first, and Covington didn't turn the ball over a lot, shot the open three, and didn't make any mistakes. He was a perfect Thibodeau player, like shoot threes, play defense, and don't make any mistakes. Tibbs likes that. Under Ryan's offense is going to be a little more creative, Ryan Saunders. They're going to get more of a flow going. They're going to get more rush going and attacking. And what I've seen since the Tibbs has left, the team has more enthusiasm. There's no question. They're playing harder. Tonight, the big matchup I want to watch is Wiggins versus Butler. Because Butler comes to practice and HOFs everybody in practice, and he, and a lot of that was directed towards Wiggins and Towns.
Yeah.
You can't win without me.
Yeah.
You think you're winning with those two dudes?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm Wiggins, I'm loaded for bear.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, I'm coming out both barrels blazing. And it's just personal.
Yeah.
If I'm Wiggins. Now I think that the game will be decided who plays better between Towns and Embiid. But this little sideshow of Wiggins versus Butler, you've been there before.
Yeah, no, for sure. There are guys you look forward to matching up against. I think the questions about Wiggins, some of those will be answered tonight. There's questions about the toughness, the physical toughness. Is he willing to go head-to-head against a guy that has called him out, challenged him, and basically said he was soft? So we'll see tonight, how he handles that.
Let me ask you something. You being a coach in the league, right now, Ryan Saunders coming in, he's 2-1. He's younger than 42 players in the league, including 3 players on his own team. Now, in football, we've seen the success of Sean McVay. Other sports, we've seen it. And basically, guys are coaches in the locker room like yourself. Do you think that the age or his lack of experience will be a problem going forward when he has a team so motivated? Is it hard to coach a team motivated and be young, or would he have a different situation if it was a team he didn't grow with and that know him so well?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I don't think the age or the experience will necessarily limit him. That's why you have a coaching staff. So it's combining the experience, the wisdom of assistant coaches, player development coaches. If you have veterans and guys that are players that can also help kind of make sure that things are running a certain way. Ryan is cut from a coaching cloth. It's in his DNA, the way he carries himself, his demeanor. And I think most importantly, what has been clear to me in just 3 games is that there was a level of relationship and trust with the players that existed prior to him being the head coach. So now that he's the interim head coach, these guys already believe in him. They love him in a lot of ways, and so they're willing to play hard for him and buy into him, even though he only has 3 games of experience.
Is he the coach of the future, Kevin, if they make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Because we expect them to make the playoffs. Last year, even though they made it by 1 game, a playoff game, I still felt it was a disappointing season for them. And I felt it was a disappointing season up until the point that the trade happened or he got the job, whichever one you want to juggle. Is that kind of the litmus test for him, playoffs, and maybe, because we know he'll get another chance in 5 or 10 years, but I mean for right now, do you think that that's the question from the execs and the team? No question. I think that this rest of the season is going to determine whether or not Ryan Saunders is the coach next year or not. And, I mean, that's a lot of pressure when you're a young guy, especially when you're 32. You're thinking, man, how many opportunities am I going to get? I got to make the most of this. But the thing that Ryan's got, though, is that he's
was with these guys, especially Towns and Wiggins, when they were rookies, and they're getting ridden hard by the coach, and he's in there at night saying, okay, let's get some extra shots up, and they developed that relationship where they really trust each other. Now, the toughest thing for being a young coach is you got to be firm with the guys too. It's nothing, you know. I'm 100% coach with. You got to be fair, but you got to be firm too. Right. If you're messing up, no matter how much I like you, I go fish. Yeah. You got to get back on defense. I said, you're getting blown by every damn time. Our defense can't withstand you getting beat at the point of attack every play.
Yep.
You got to be better, man.
And I think our players now, the love and the relationship that allows them to trust their coach then allows him to hold them more accountable. So they're willing to accept that from Ryan because he was there all those late nights, getting shots up, working out with you, keeping you positive when you weren't playing or when coach cussed you out last night. Yeah. So now when he's holding you accountable as your head coach, you know that's coming from the right place.
And Fish, you say that, and I think about my first coach, Bill Fish. If I was waiting for love before I could play well, I'd still be waiting. I'd be in the locker room, sitting in my locker, like, you know, I tell you what, they were hard on you back then. But I'm with you. I just think it's different. You hit the nail on the head with the fact that he spent all those nights with those guys, you know, when they're struggling as a rookie and stuff like that in there. So they feel bonded to him. Right. And I think they really will play for him. I just hope they win. They're bringing in Jerry Seasting, my old teammate with the Celtics, coach.
Definitely.
They're bringing him to help Ryan on the bench. And so I told the trainer, I said, the equipment manager, I said, well, load up the refrigerator with beer and then get ready for some fun times.
Exactly. Keep that
Jerry's
notepad
coming
ready.
back.
That's what's up. That sounds good. And when we come back, we'll have our man 3D. He's going to actually catch up with Coach Ryan Saunders. And you know these guys right here. Teague, he's not shooting that well, but he is from a percentage point. But he is running the team. 452 twist. That was the play they used to call all the time. Bet KG's at home. He just shook. He's like, that's my play.